And 2 green arrows. That's nice. Hopefully you can't hear the washing machine going ballistic in the background. Well, thank you for listening to or watching the Upland Down Under podcast. Tonight's show's recording live on Thursday, the 27th of June at 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. On tonight's show, we're going to catch up on the Upland market floors, of course. We'll check in on the Gamified Earnings, take a quick look at the Lusail Stadium Monument Experience, which is now live. There's a new London meetup that's been announced. Upland has secured the services of a new user acquisition partner. And the main topic for tonight's show is it's time. A new era begins with Sparklet. Kinda. We've got QIPS on the current activity feed, what to do about overcrowded and silly-looking properties, and a much-appreciated correction about something that was said in last week's show. And, of course, we'll take a look at another Upland community member spotlight courtesy of the Dynamic Node Builders team. Tonight, we'll also be giving away at least 45,000 UPX, 2 map assets, and a surprise vehicle. That'll take the 2024 giveaway tally to at least 1,130,000 UPX, 57 map assets, and now 1 vehicle. All that and more on this, the Upland Down Under podcast. Yeah, I can't hear a freaking thing with that bloody washing machine going. So bear with me while I try and go with this one for the next 4 minutes. So, yes. Let's have a look here. We got some extra BAM techie stuff to share this week. So, yes, tonight's show is again brought to you by BAM Tech from Apex Motors and Map Asset Metaventures. Your trackside property will stand out with speedway fences from Apex Map Assets. With over 380 sold, these debris fences give Upland racers a realistic visual when driving by your property. You'll find speedway fences on many tracks, including Upland's New York Speedway. Speedway fences are available at all Apex Map Asset shops in Los Angeles, the Bronx, Miami, Las Vegas, and Sao Paulo. But that's not all. Let me get this next one up. This one should be up, yes. So that's not all. Yes, BAMTech also now has roadster carts available in the Bronx and LA showrooms. Of course, they're separate car showrooms. So suit up and race on over to see what BAMTech's got going on at Apex Motors and Map Assets. And while you're at it, give him a follow on X at BAMTech_01. Links to the Apex Motors and Map Asset showrooms and BAMTech's X account are, of course, in the description. And yes, a show sponsor means, of course, we've got some extra opportunities for you, the listeners and watchers of this show, to go into the running for some epic prizes. While you're too late to get into the draw for this week's show, although kind of squeezed in by the skin of his teeth just before, more details on how you can get an entry in for next week's show, of course, coming up later in the weekly challenges segment. If you are wondering how you can take part in the live streaming of this podcast, I dropped the link to the live stream in the NBA server Thursday nights at about 6:45 p.m. AEST. And you can, of course, just keep your eyes out on the associated YouTube and X feeds of mine. Speaking of all that, that means it's time to go over to the disclaimer.
Warning, this podcast is produced by Metaverse Ventures Entertainment, contains unsolicited and heavily biased opinions which are solely the views of the individuals involved.
All right, yes, indeed. We're going to move straight on into the badly breaking news and take a look at what's currently happening in the Upland markets. We'll go on the right side this week. So 90-day averages, transaction volume down almost 3%. The trading volume down 1.7%. Unique active wallets up a smidge, 0.7%, just under 60,000. Total unminted properties, we had 3,969 properties minted through the week, still sitting at 308. 145. The total properties for sale, I've changed that last week and the weeks previously. I was adding the total, the UPX and the USD properties. I've cut that down just to USD because I kind of reflected on that, and myself, I put bloody stupid UPX prices up all over the place all the time. So not very relevant, that one. So we'll stick with the USD with that one, see how it all pans out. Might be a better way to gauge how things are ebbing and flowing. Speaking of USD, the floor markup percentage in USD, still plenty of red, orange, and light red. So we were just talking with Swally before we got kicked off. Swally, man, you reckon we're not going to go under 20? I reckon we're going to see 19 before the end of the year, but you reckon we're not?
If we do, it's only because it's a huge property. That's my belief. I don't think anything regular size, so to speak, will be under 20. Get snapped up too quick. But yeah, those bigger multi-million UPX properties, maybe. Still fantastic.
Yeah, maybe
buying,
a few.
though.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe a few one-offs here and there it might dip below, but not like an established floor, you reckon? Yeah.
Well, like with Washington, I've seen it drop as low as I think about 23%, but it hovers in that mid-30s. So anything that's really low gets snapped up pretty quick. I think it'll be the same for most places.
Yep. What do we got? We got Chicago at 28%, Cleveland 28%, Dallas 27%, Detroit 28%, Kansas 22%. That's the lowest of the lot, I believe. 22% in Kansas. Las Vegas 24%, London and LA 23%, Nashville also 23%, New Orleans 27%, Oakland 26%, and then Queens and Rio also down 23% and 24% as well. On the flip side, Fresno still holding in there. Was green for the longest time, now 84%. Manhattan 66%. And what else have we got? Staten Island 76% holding in there. Trenton 57%. I was thinking, I didn't have time this evening, but I might patch in so it color codes it to black if it goes under 20. That'd be fun to keep an eye on that as well. Currently, your best bet, at least by the data side of things, to buy for UPX and sell for USD. The best spread there is Sao Paulo, buy for just under 7,000, flip for 3. But there's a bazillion $3 ones there. Worst effort is Dallas, buy for just under 15,000 and sell for $4.10. And then we're a bit all over the place. We've got Birmingham back to the $3 floor. Plenty of $3 floors established there. Has anybody come off? No. Nashville back to the $3 floor as well. Was $3.12 last week, now back to 3. Anybody bucking the trend? Nope. Lots of 3s. All right, what else is happening? Double-digit figures. Not much happening at the front there. Brooklyn up 11.7%. Was 6,000 last week, now just under 6,700, but flat at $3. Dallas, big hit on the USD, was just under $5 now, pushing towards 4, down 17.8%. London up 11.8% on the UPX and up 8.3% on the USD. Was just under 16,000 UPX and at $6. Now just under 17,900 and $6.50. Lusail, skip that one. Not much else happening there. Queens down 7.4%. No, up, sorry, 7.4% on the EPX. Was 5,400, now just under 5,800. Santa Clara is getting hit on the USD out. Was just under $13 last week, now down 15.3% to $11. Also down on the UPX just a smidge though, at 35,000. What else have we got? South Lake Tahoe up on both the UPX and the USD. Was 15,000 last week, up 16.7% to 17,500, and was $5 last week, up 11% to $5.55. And Tokyo up a smidge there on the UPX as well. 13,800 and change last week, up 7.3% to just under 15,000. And what's your Washington doing, Swally? 20,000 last week, up 7% on the UPX, 21,390, and down 6.8%, was $7.50, now under $7. So still a bit of a mixed bag, all things considered. All right. That's about that. Or yes, what's Upland said here? They said we're officially halfway through the Genesis season, which means only 3 weeks left to complete all of the Genesis Gamified Earnings tasks. The Genesis Gamified Earning leaderboard will be final on July 15th at 9 a.m. PT. And they say, let's get all those tasks checked off. Correct me if I'm wrong. A couple of those were extended, weren't they, to account for the Sparklet shenanigans? I think that's true.
I think the 7-day one was.
Yeah.
I think it was only that.
Yeah, the 25 login one, maybe in the 7-day one. Yep. All right. So, how are you going with this, Swally?
Wouldn't have a clue. Haven't looked for the last 2-3 seasons. I know I'm not going to get all of them. So I know I'll get 5. So I just don't even bother.
I didn't bother. It looks like the website doesn't want to even bother either. Oh, there you go. Yes. Oh, you got a lot of yeses there. Scroll over it. What do you got? Yep. 9 points. Well and truly out there. So, yep, you're squared away. Yeah, for a bonus, yeah, you knew one. Yeah.
That's the one
I'm that one.
The burning, yeah, I don't get into the burning. I can't. I don't get burning block explorers. I just can't do it.
Well, I did see. Where did I see? It might have been on X, or it might have been the in-game chat. Somebody was advertising their legits. I forget what legits were. Hey, if you want to burn your 3 items, here's some cheap legits to buy. So I thought that was pretty clever.
Mm.
Just spend, you'd probably pick them up for a couple $100 UPEX each. So you'd tick that off pretty easy if you do a bit of shopping in the city near you, I would imagine. But yeah, the referral bonus one's a bit of a challenge. And I think I'm sorted as well. The only thing I did purposefully was the 5 treasures. So where am I at? So 8 points. So just behind you. Ornament, yes. Referral bonus, no. 5 structures, no. Yes.
Yeah, that's where
So yeah, hopefully you got that done. Yep. All right. What's going on over here? Hello. Thank you for those joining us. Now, I will say too, shout out to Laban. He did send me a whole bunch of cool different ways that we can track the live participants to get involved in that wheel. I was endeavouring to sit down and do that this afternoon. However, I was off on a little adventure into Brisbane City today. If you saw that on X, so yeah, I got home real late. Didn't get home till 5 p.m. my time. So that's all at the window. So we're still stuck with the manual system for at least another week. So yes, if you're participating on X or on the YouTubes, make sure you leave a comment somewhere so that we can track you and get you in. All right, what does that take us to? The Lusail Stadium Monument. Talked a little bit about this with the Buell Man when I had him on the Metaverse and Beyond podcast show over the weekend. Have you had a chance to go and have a play around there yet?
Me? No. I've been learning Blender this week, so if I wasn't treasure hunting and was sleeping, I was blendering. I feel like I'm not just level 1 of 1,000 or 100,000 steps of Blender. It is not super hard, but very complicated and so many moving pieces to it and whatnot. So been playing around with that. It's a bit of fun. Whether I stick with it or not, we'll find out in time. But yeah, so I have not attended the Lusail Stadium. I haven't tried playing the other game. In fact, I haven't really seen much either, to be fair, because I haven't been treasure hunting as much.
Yes. How about you, Bueller Man? You had a bit of a play around. Did you dive back in for a run?
No.
No. Yes. Well, hopefully. Well, what does it say here? What do we got here?
Back to coding for the stuff we're going to talk next.
Okay. Yes. In Track Hero, players will be able to compete in staked races coming soon to win UPEX with daily, weekly, and seasonal leaderboards showcasing the top performers. But Track Hero is more than just a racing game. Lusail Stadium serves as a vibrant gathering place where players can meet up, collaborate, host events, watch races together, and even shop at the Lusail store. That sounds pretty cool. Now, we do have it here. Hopefully that came up. Shout out to Abdullah86, not Abdullah 68, as poor old X1 faux pas when he was doing his little video. Very easy to mix those up. But yeah, imagine spending literally millions of dollars on a game and getting confused with my dumb ass. Sorry about that, Abdullah. And yeah.
May have been on people's minds recently.
Yeah, it's easy to do. All right, so we're going to try and have a look in here. Loading bundle, see if we get potato mode. No, you can allow. See if it's going to work. I did try this on my phone. I saw a few other people were using it on their phone, but I think it might be one of those things. It might be an Android versus iOS thing because it was clunky as all get up on my phone. I got out of there pretty lickety split. Right, while that's loading, we'll just check it out. So yes, meeting place. I think that might be a bit of a stretch. Even it doesn't seem like the in-cafe situations are being used all that often now. I mean, I think that was you, Swally, wasn't it you talking, or was it one of the other people that was talking about how if they're not even using those for Genesis Week, well, what is the actual point?
Oh, I was saying they should be doing that for. I could even see a case where they could sell virtual tickets, which would probably include like a Block Explorer for like $5 or $7, something like that. Be better money spent than the season passes, but where you get access to watch all the different events and participate maybe in some of the stuff that's going on in the actual live. I mean, it's supposed to be a global game, and it's so that G Week, or that especially that particular day and a half, so focused on just the people there and not the rest of the world, which very frustrating.
Yes. Absolutely. Merch coming soon. Drinks. Oh, you should be able to buy those, I think, eh? Top earner. Yeah. Okay, so they've got a couple of leaderboards up there. Shout out to who's that? Oh, I can't see. Iskaga. He's killing it. 57 seconds. Next fastest one, P Stretcher, 08, 1 minute 11. Shout out to the Ninjas. I did just see them there, but they've been boinked out by Ace. Well, that's seems to be moving.
Watching the Ninjas the other day doing it. They were about a minute 20 or something.
Yeah.
A minute 30.
Oh, this does my head in trying to look around this place. All right.
Hey, that's my name. That's my name. Top earner, 0. Oh. Wait. Buleman. Hey. I'm on the leaderboard. I don't know why, but
0.
Hey.
That's fine.
With 0 earnings and 1 race. It was the 1 race I did with 2 minutes or something like that.
Has the maybe that hasn't started, has it? Where you can bet on it?
No. It is coming soon.
That's probably why. What button do you press to run?
You have to go to the green area left. There you can,
I'm not gonna go and try and do a thing. I'm just gonna have a look. Oh, I thought I was gonna fall off. Yeah, no. Definitely looks cool. I've frozen, have I? Yeah.
No, well, you did temporarily.
Yeah, definitely looks cool. It'd be interesting to see what other experiences they come out with the different types of monuments they're going to do and whatnot. Yeah. All right. I think I'll get out of there before I completely gets jacked up.
Well, I was coming to find you.
Looks pretty cool. Oh, where? Sorry.
I was going to come and kick you in the head, ninja style.
Nice.
I don't know what I'm doing. That's right. I'll exit it.
Speaking of, you're trying to come and find me. Well, what do you know? I've found you. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't even know how to turn around.
No, it's a bit of a weird one, that one. So what was this about? There's got to be a story here. I remember you saying something about this back in the day. What were you doing in London for the first meetup?
That was all just going back to see my missus' parents. So we just happened to be flying there I think 2 days before the London meetup. So we were actually on the plane for, I think the collection release. We were actually on the plane, so I missed that. So we went, well, we weren't in London, we were in England. It was about an hour and a half train ride to get to London, which for London's a long way, but for us it's not so far. So we thought, we're in London, why not? So so that's my missus in front of me, sort of bending over a bit. And chubby me behind her.
Nice. So I imagine you had a bit of fun.
Yeah, that was a great night. And anyone that missed the last time should definitely get along and see the next one. I mean, apparently Dirk's going to be there again, so Dirk's fantastic to chat to. The cost is cheaper this time around.
$10. Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was $20 last time. Not that it matters.
Did that include? Did that include a couple of drinks or something? Usually does.
It was supposed to include one drink, but we got a few more than one for free, so I think we did all right out of it.
Nice. Yeah, that's what it says here. Meet Dirk Luth, Upland co-founder, and other members of the Upland team. Is it Squall? I think he's in Pommyland too, isn't he?
Last time, I don't know. Dan was there last time.
Yeah, that might be who I'm thinking. Dan. Yeah.
Yeah, Dan.
Yeah,
so but enjoy a free drink.
Yeah, but it's a problem for the Europe, for the living people in Europe, because the United Kingdom, you need, at least for the German ones, passport, a travel passport. It's not the normal the normal ID card I can use in all over the world. No, I need the travel pass, and if you apply for one, the printing institution in Germany is not as fast as hey, I need this next week, so you have to wait 6 to 8 weeks if it's.
Oh boy.
So if I want to go there, I don't even could, because I'm not the owner of one of these passports at the moment. So even if I apply for one, it will be arriving here after this event. So hey, don't use London next time. Any other country is okay, but not England or the United Kingdom. Sorry,
that'd be the Brexit problem, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So
yes,
as I was saying before, Tossed was there last time. Probably in that photo. I don't know what he looks like, so I don't know which one he is. But I'm really disappointed I didn't get to chat to Tossed last time. And if I was there this time, I'd definitely sit at the table with him for most of the night, if not as much as I could, and pick his brain, because he's a very smart individual.
Oh, that's Dan there, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, cool. Yes, all right. Well, if you can get out there, I think it'd definitely be worth it. You'd have to say that this year they'd probably get a few more people than that, I would imagine.
Well, there was 20 registered attendees last time, which was, I thought, a little disappointing. Again, I don't know how many there are in London, and I guess it's not that simple for everyone just to get there for a few beers on one night.
Yeah.
But and actually speaking, the guy next to me, so to our left, so behind that lady next to me, in between
that one.
Dirk, him. So that guy and the lady in front, that they came down from Scotland. He actually had to sell a lot of his assets in Upland.
Oh, really? Wow.
To you look him up, it's T58, I think his name is, in Upland. I actually know him from a different project, so I recognised him from a different project I'm involved in. And then I get chatting there. But yeah, he had to sell a lot of his assets and come all the way down from Scotland just for the night. So that cost them a bit of money.
Pretty penny. Well,
so in a way, he went a lot further than I, because I only had to come up from a little bit down south of London.
Yes. And I'll just shout out to Kinder in chat, who has clarified that, yes, you can burn NFL PA legits to qualify for that. So, yeah, might be a pretty cheap option if you were going to go for those, that full set. If you happen to score a referral and you're looking to square it off, well, you can burn a couple of those lickety-split. All right, what else we got? Oh, Laban, give me a heads up about this. I did see it, maybe it was a week or so ago, and I just forgot to put it on the roster anywhere. But did you see this, Wally? That's Upland has secured a new user acquisition partner. Did you see anything related to this?
No, I don't think so.
Out and about. So they did put a tweet out about it, I think. Or no, it was only on LinkedIn. So Upland says, ready to onboard Web2 users to Web3 with the help of Superfine. Over 60% of our users never owned an NFT before Upland. Well, hang on a minute. There's 3 million accounts and only 300,000 of those own a single NFT. So what percentage of that percentage? That'd be an interesting number. But it goes on to say, our mobile-first Web2 onboarding approach is unique. Now coupled with the expertise of Superfine, we're ready to take on user acquisition to the next level. So this was 2 weeks ago. Superfine followed up to say, exciting news. We're thrilled to announce that superfine.org. Now, I did click on that, but it's a very simple web page, and it just has a link to a Google form. That's all there is there. You can't get any details on there. They're the new acquisition partner, and it goes blah, 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 blah. But I went over and let's have a squiz at the Superfine X account. Acquire Web3 ready gamers on all ad networks. Just describe your campaign goals and upload creatives. That's it. Okay. So it's an advertising and marketing agency. What do you think we can expect or hope from something like this? 2 weeks ago, we've seen any examples of any massive influx of users, have we?
I'm going to defer to Buellman on this one. I've got no idea, but I'm going to say, as far as I know, no, I don't think so.
What do you think, Buellman?
Nothing special in the data. In the small part of data I'm currently gathering because of all this shenanigans from the devs with us as devs the last weeks. Like blocking servers, just pushing out a complete new token with no information for the devs. Yeah, but we will talk about it later, I think. So I didn't detect anything, and these 3 million accounts, I don't rely on that data because there's no proof for that.
Yes. So yeah, if you click on the link in that description, it just brings you over to this page. You click that, like, there's no extra tabs on who it is, what it's about, nothing like that. Or maybe if you log in, I don't know. But if you press the Let's Talk button, it just takes you over here to a Google form. And what do you want? What do they want to know? They want to know your company name, Telegram, monthly marketing budget, and pretty much that's it. Which option best describes your game, alpha, beta, or fully? Obviously, that's just to get the conversation started. So, yeah, it appears that Upland has hired this mob to help with user acquisition. I guess we'll have to wait and see. One of those wait and see. Hopefully, not too long. Hopefully, sooner rather than later.
Maybe that'd be in conjunction with Sparklet being on exchanges. They might be there thinking there.
Yeah.
So why not throw everything at it?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think this might have something to do with the round 2 of the airdrop campaign as well? Because I do know there's a lot of people asking questions when airdrop campaign number 2 or when totems number 2.
Apparently, round 2 of the airdrop was live in G Week. Like, that's what I keep hearing. I don't know if that's true, but so that would suggest when's round 3. But when's totems? When's Spark? When's a lot of things? We'll just keep ticking away.
Well, it's supposed to all happen in the summer, apparently. So, yes.
Well, question mark summer.
Maybe it might be our summer. So it gives them a few extra months leeway to play with.
Give them till February, you reckon?
Yes. So yeah, there's not a lot of extra details there that I could see about Superfine, but they're out there looking to acquire more users. Acquiring is one thing. Retaining them is, that's the next biggest thing. And, we've talked about this ad nauseum over and over. There's so many different ways that Upland can gamify the layer 1 platform, more quality of life improvements to the layer 1 that would probably make a big difference there as well. So hoping to see some of that eventuate this year, even though, of course, they're probably up to their eyeballs in getting stuff ready for Sparklet. All right, and that's probably a good segue into what I've got pegged for the main topic for the show. Of course, the transition to Sparklet was undertaken. I don't really have any notes or anything to go off. The whole process seemed to work pretty smoothly. We were down for a couple of days, update the app, and I don't know, everything seemed to be working pretty good to me.
We weren't down for a couple of days. We're down for like 4 hours, which is what they said. So they stuck to that. They said up to 2 days there will be no Spark utility, which there wasn't. You couldn't do anything, but it wasn't. It was only just over 24 hours, I think. It was fairly quick. So I guess they just gave themselves a bit more time than what they needed in case they ran into problems. The only real negative for that was that for about 24 hours there, people could still treasure hunt, but there was no Spark chest being delivered. So, but I ended up doing 30 odd hunts just to do a few and end up with about a couple of decent chests, so still no complaints. I didn't go crazy because there was no Spark to be won, but it is what it is. So they told us about it, so no need to whinge or anything.
I had to laugh at all the people on X getting super excited about their 20 Spark. Everybody's sharing it.
So many posts. One of them I saw, Abdullah, eat your heart out. Something Spark a balance. Or Sparklet balance, but I will say that post did say Spark. So I was like, okay, well, maybe something wasn't updated correctly.
Yeah, there's a few things here and there. A few bits and pieces that haven't been updated. I'll tell you what, I had a build finish, I think it was yesterday or this morning, and it kind of did my head in trying to work out how to jig all the Spark into the different builds, trying to get your head around the bit larger numbers.
No, I had all my builds timed so that wouldn't finish during the period, so I figured, because my understanding was it was going to pause, but it didn't. Everything kept ticking over. The times kept ticking over. I had got some manufacturing going, that kept ticking over. So anything that was currently underway was still working as per normal. Just you couldn't re-stake anything, or obviously you couldn't get any Spark chests during treasure hunting. And I think that's why the login bonus was delayed for a day, because if you were up to the 7th day, you couldn't collect that one or that bit of spark that you're going to get. So that's where the issue
Yep.
came with that, I think.
Yes. So I've currently got 30,600 staked. I thought it was interesting that they didn't take the opportunity to remove the on exchange tab here. That's been there since the very first days. I had assumed that they'd palm that off to the layer 2s, and that wasn't going to be a thing. I wonder if that's going to be reimagined now for when we start moving stuff out. Like, there's the holding period before you can move stuff onto an exchange, like literally onto an exchange, an external exchange. I wonder if they're going to rejig it for that somehow.
Yeah, because you got to use it for 90 days or something, don't you? Or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I wonder how that's only if you buy it, I guess, on the platform.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're going to do.
Yes. And it seems, I didn't think this was that neat before. It seems like they've updated this now so it reduces the font size depending on the number. I'd love to see a screenshot of Abdullah's, whether it jacks out over. Because what's he got, 100,000 or something stupid?
Yeah, you can't look at someone else's sparking game, though, can you? Can you do it on the...
No, I don't believe so. Yeah. Yeah, not in this kind of tab anyway. But yeah, I thought that was interesting that they didn't take the opportunity to goink that out of there.
Actually,
so who knows?
Look at mine.
Maybe we will get something.
You never know.
You never know.
Yeah, they've definitely made
it not official roadmap. Maybe some surprises.
Definitely made it smaller because mine looks a bit neater inside the box than what it did.
Yeah, because it was always fairly tight, even with just double digits. So yeah, it's good to see them fix that up. So yes, how about anybody else in chat? Anything to say about the Sparklet? You're pretty excited? Did you have any dramas? I'm excited because I just really want to see how this is going to play out on the live crypto situation. It's going to be absolutely fascinating. So any little kind of advancement of that whole process, pretty pumped to see where that all goes. I'm still personally thinking that I might offload 10 if the price comes out at the get-go and it's not too bad. Swaley's shaking his head. No, don't want to know about it.
No, I think that's a bad move.
Yeah.
You sell high, buy low. So
yeah, well, if we come out the gate and I think
it's not going to come out the gate high. It's not going to come out the gate high. There's no way it is. Why would you buy it for over 46 cents a Sparklet when you can buy it off the game for 46 cents a Sparklet?
Well, that's why I'm thinking to sell 10 as soon as possible and wait for it to drop. Wait for the arse to drop out of it.
I want my Spark. I'm building as much as I can.
So, yeah.
I mean, if you do that and then buy back in at half the price or something, you're happy days, but and end up with twice as much. That's a possibility, but you still need buys on the other side.
Yeah. 10 might be a bit risky, eh? I might just dip the toe and go for 2 or something like that. That's a bit more.
But then again, it depends, because if they end up being on something like which is bad for fees, but CoinSpot, Coinbase would operate slightly different where you're buying and selling from them. So it might be a bit different as opposed to being on a centralized or decentralized exchange where you got to find another buyer. So it all depends on where it ends up to.
Yeah, well, that's a very good point. Yeah. If it's just some bizarre, obscure exchange, that might be a good point. I might not even go through with the KYC process for that. Just a pro on Upland. I'm worth 50 Sparklet. Here to learn in advance, understand it's worth a bit more. Absolutely. Good on you, Ryan J. Everybody started off somewhere, mate. So don't worry about that. Good, keep grinding. Yes. So no, well, I guess that's a good reality check, I think there, Swally. Probably not get ahead of myself, thinking I'm making plans and that. Let's see where we end up first day.
I think you've got to really focus on. I mean, you've got experience with crypto, so I think you've really got to remember the crypto and where crypto market is at the moment. We're not by any means anywhere near the top of the market. If everything goes the way people suspect it will, we're 12 months at least away from that. That would be my advice. But again, not financial advice. That's what I'm doing. Sorry, I'll reassess what Sparklet's doing next year, and if it does go well above what we are conditioned to for many years, at the roughly 46 cents a Sparklet, being $460 a spark, then I will assess. And like I said, I want to do certain things. I'd love to be able to pay a percentage of my house off, maybe go to G Week next year. There's all the different things I want to do, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yes, I always just think back to, I kind of relate the whole Sparklet situation as, because many of us in this chat or who are listening and watching the show, we kind of, it's almost like we got into it at the ICO level, like the initial coin offering level. So that's how I kind of view it. And whenever you see those kind of situations, there's pretty much only one way the price goes for a while. So if you're listening on the Spotify, I'm looking at an ICO I went in pretty heavy for my little account way back in the day. We started off at, I think the ICO price was 0.005 cents, and then we got up fairly quickly to just under 0.05. I sold pretty much all of mine at that, and everybody at the time in the Telegram group was saying, "Oh, you're crazy! You're gonna miss out on so much money." And then the ass just completely died out of it. We had a bit of a blip, and then she just trailed off to nothing. So,
but there's one massive difference between this and Sparklet.
Yep.
The fact that we've been able to buy Sparklet for 5 years.
Previously, yeah.
Probably more like 4 years. So like I said, everybody already thinks that one Sparklet is 46 cents. Well, that's what we're conditioned to. So there's no way in hell the price is going up from 46 cents on launch. Yeah,
you just don't know what the big speculators out there are going to do. Hey, I heard you on the on the neutral zone with LSLAC, you were talking about, which is a point I didn't consider as well, like whatever exchange it's going to be listed on, they have to be given a certain amount of supply to set the liquidity in the markets. So, it's going to be interesting how that all plays out. I think I covered on the BlockWeb Beat podcast that Justin Sun just recently bought some bazillions amount of Ethereum. So all it takes is one or two of imagine some of the crypto meme whales just having a punt at it. There's so many of these groups out there.
The absolute bee's knees to be getting on an exchange obviously is Binance, but from what I know, which is very, very limited, Binance is super expensive, and the cut that they would want would be huge and probably more than what Upland's willing to spend. So given that Upland's an American-based company, maybe they're trying to negotiate with Coinbase, which is another American-based company. Maybe they can try and make a deal there. I don't know obviously I have no clue what they're doing. I'm not privy to anything. Otherwise, they'll end up just being at one of the decentralized exchanges, which anyone can do. But you got to create your own liquidity pool.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm hopeful that we'll get on to one of the other kind of lesser well-known ones like Gate.io or Qcoin or something like that, where I've got an existing account. That'd be nice. Because there's so many of these other obscure exchanges that come and go, and as somebody that's had to deal with the tax implications on that on the back end, it's a freaking nightmare. So,
Well, I just got a check from one of the companies that went belly up last year or the year before, and I can't bank it because it's an international check and my bank won't accept it.
Oh, jeez.
So it's only worth a bit over $100 Australian, but it's like, the joys of these international companies and stuff like that. So given
Absolutely.
that, a large percentage of the Upland community is American, it makes sense if they can get onto an American exchange. So as high as the Coinbase fees are, it's probably still would be I think close to the best case scenario, but maybe wishful thinking.
Caesar in chats also said use Kraken. The Kraken exchange would be a real win as well. Yeah, absolutely. Something that's still very well known and well established. Yes, going to be fascinating. I would imagine we're going to get news on that sooner rather than later, because the year is sliding away. No.
Well, that's what this by summer was about. By summer question marks. So obviously they're negotiating and talking or figuring something out, and until that deal is signed on the dotted line and signed, sealed, and delivered, it's not going to be announced. And if something falls through, then it may not be announced.
It does remind me. I think it might have been a Dan or Dirk. It might have been on X. Forgive me where I saw it, but they were talking about there's something going on the back end of EOS where they've changed some bloody thing. I forget the details of it, but there's something going on there as well. So that might be all linked with it as well.
I saw something like that too, and if I understood it correctly, again, Bielman, you probably again will be more all over this than I, but I thought they said something about the finalization of transactions will be 1 second. Is that what I saw?
Yes. Yeah, I read into that as well. Yeah, I don't know the finer details.
Yeah, it's set 1 second. I don't know if this will affect or how this will impact Upland. I mean, you could stake to a building right after you started one, so you don't need to wait 3 minutes. I think Ben talked about it while doing the Midtown Terrace projects, sitting hours in front of the PC to wait 3 minutes to start the next build.
Driving my wife crazy with alarm.
Maybe this will get a bit, get us a bit faster in game. Yeah,
massive speed boost if that's the case. Yeah. Like I'm thinking, obviously, you buy a property to finish a collection. You don't have to come back 5 minutes later and fill that collection. You can just do it straight away. But where it would really be helpful when they have those buildings like Upland do, when they go, stake here and you get a block explorer, which I'm yet to get ever. How hard is it to try and stake on those builds? Because everyone's trying to get on there, and you've got to time it just perfectly, and only one person can do it every 3 minutes. That's only 20 people an hour. So maybe that will massively change. It'll be much, much easier.
Yeah, I think it could be a huge advancement if they, if this is implemented in EOS and the Upland team knows how to use it. But I think they are connected to the EOS team. I think this would work out. Maybe it's something they ask for. Could be possible. Who knows? Something like, hey, can we reduce these 3 minutes to maybe 30 seconds, 2 minutes? And they said, hey, let's do 1 second because we can.
Why not? Yeah. Because it has taken a bit of a step backwards. Previously, you were able to pull your Spark off a build and then immediately stake it. But then once you staked it, you'd have to wait the 3 minutes. But now if you do any interaction with your Spark at all, you've got to wait the full 3 minutes, even just pulling it off.
I wonder what difference, if any, it'll make for minting cities, though. With a release, because there's not really an issue with that now as it is anyway. So there's a cooldown, which is to stop multi-tabbers from doing 3-4 at the same time.
Yeah, but this cooldown is implemented not based on blockchain data. I think this is in-game.
There's people opening up 3-4 tabs and hitting mint on 3 or 4 at the same time. But
I got that in Bermuda just myself when I was minting all along those waterfronts. So I got the warning. So it can kick in even when you're just doing legit. So it is possible. Yes. All right. Well, I guess we just wait and see. It's like many of these things. We sit around and wait for some more news. Hopefully it's not a situation like the old semi-truck trailers bazillions of years later, and we still haven't heard a damn thing. So,
it's all a step in the right direction. Might only be baby steps or whatever, but step in the right direction. So definitely something to not get super excited or hold your breath about, but certainly something to be looking forward to.
Absolutely. All right, we shall. Oh, and I'll just say, Swally, too, that Jay Sawyer has reached out in the X. If you can put his name in the list for the live participants as well, please.
Copy that.
What are we up to? We're up to QIPS. So, yes, if you have any questions, insights, provocations, or statements about Upland that we can cover on the show, there's a link to the Google form in the description. Make sure you include your in-game name in your submission, and if we use it, you win yourself some kind of prize. Thank you to everybody that reached out and submitted a QIPS. As you might have seen and heard, we cleaned house last week in the show. So we got some fresh ones this week. I couldn't cover them all, of course, because I am trying to save up some bit of balance again. But we do have 3. First up tonight, we've got a few statements from Hu Yang, who says, the current activity feed function is uncategorized and very hard to follow. I think a category system needs to be implemented so I can keep track of an individual Uplander's activities. Examples of categories could include recently sold properties, recently purchased properties, recent listed properties, etc. I think everybody would be on board on that, wouldn't you? Especially the listed properties one. Be super helpful. I had assumed when I was doing that whole Bermuda sale thing that I did, I assumed that was going to pop up. So I was putting it out there. Keep your eyes out for when I list these. But yeah, there was nothing. It's only when they get sold that it spits out. So yes, individual activity feeds. Yeah, perhaps. I know a lot of people are a bit on the fence with what to do with their activity feed. Swally, you said you haven't gone the whole let's follow everybody but go ballistic situation?
No, I still use Discord until there's a full changeover. I still go to Discord for my questions, information, connecting to people. It's just much easier.
Yes, so I'm currently following 14,600 and change. Shout out to Blue Rain. I think she's got 25,000 people she's following, so she's definitely got a lot of patience to push the button. 1,330 followers. So, yeah, it does get a bit... Where is the bloody thing? Down here in this one.
I think I'm at 14.
Following.
Oh, I'm at 11.
You're at 11. Yeah, so is that you're thinking that you only want people that you actually follow? I know some people have said, well, I'm only going to follow people I actually want to follow.
To an extent, yeah. Mostly, like, it's not exclusively, but yeah, everybody on the list that I follow, I know relatively well. Miles B. Chain's probably the only one I don't really know. But obviously that's the Upland account one. But yeah, they're all just people that either chat to or on different podcasts and content creators. So
yeah, so I guess that's one way to kind of curate your following thing yourself is to just don't follow too many people. But yeah, absolutely, it'd be nice if you could set that up, have a bit more flexibility, toggles, and this, that, and the other thing. How about yourself, Buellman? Have you joined the follow everybody train? Pushed all the bloody buttons?
Oh no, I didn't. I started and then today, okay, it doesn't make sense to me. I just unfollowed most of them, only following a few. It's not the final list, but if I see someone I know or I even chatted with, so I say, okay, you get a follow, and so I'm 250 or something.
Yeah, so you've dipped your toe. Yes, it is quite a laborious task to sit there and press all the bloody buttons. All right, so that's from Hu Yang. Next up, we've got a question from 6week6. He asks, parking garages and storage buildings, when are these going to appear? He goes on to say, properties are starting to look overcrowded and silly. Long speculated, the storage buildings, that would be very nice if you could park your maybe a whole bunch of map assets that you don't want to display all at once, or anything else. If you got a whole bunch of whatevers, crates, for example, if you wanted more than one crate on your property to be able to stack them away somewhere. Parking garages so you don't have cars sprawled out all over the place. I don't know. Seems like a pretty good addition to me.
One major problem with it, though, isn't there?
What's that?
Well, if you've got a parking garage, you can't put a car in it because it'll overlap and it'll go red.
Oh, no. If
not necessarily.
If you take the Speedway Meta-Ventures, they have just a small green dot where you can't put anything. You can put your cars half in the garage. It looks a bit bad because it's the door of the garage is
chopped
closed.
enough.
But it's possible. They just need to assign a footprint. Just maybe only the walls around your parking spot or something like that.
Yeah. Ideally, these would have been up, and then it would have looked cool. Yeah, you can actually place the cars in there, but Buellerman's right. That looks stupid because half the cars sticking out. So that's kind of a workaround. So there is that functionality where you can hide things underneath things. So that is doable. Whether they want to do it or not is another thing.
But map
As
assets,
far
like,
as
are we
Yeah.
talking about a carport or a garage or something as a map asset, or as part of a building?
could be.
But even a building, it's still
Ooh,
the whole
good
area is
point.
greened out, isn't it? With the footprint.
Yeah, that's a problem
But
with the ranch
again-
house and luxury ranch house. There's this little small shed or
Yeah.
garage, whatever. But it's the footprint is the complete square.
Yeah.
So if you want to put something in this place, they need to adjust their footprints, which shouldn't be too difficult because I think all this data isn't written to the blockchain.
Yeah, but
Um,
see how you
but
can
I don't
put
know
the
where.
items in you can put them in there, and you can get in there and have a look around. See,
Yeah,
and
but
that's
is
a structure, not a map asset.
that's different to all the other buildings, though, isn't it? You can't do that to a normal building.
Yeah, so there must be some functionality that they have, like they could create a specialist storage facility. So it would only be a facade, but you could move stuff around in there and place all your crates in there and whatnot.
It's supposed to be creating indoor legits and stuff soon, aren't they? So
yeah,
maybe.
Yes,
I think it'd be fantastic. I think to build a carport or a garage or a patio or outdoor entertainment area for out the back, and then be able to put your chair and table and barbecue underneath. I think all that would look awesome. But
but they denied it from the rules that you can build some sort of structures as map assets. So, but hey, they denied single letters and numbers and advertisements and so on too. But hey, as Washington is in Washington, I saw many of them, many numbers to indicate low cent fees. There's this Mac Auto Group who have their own billboard advertisement. So I just thought myself about releasing the ABC as single map assets to allow people to do some writings, but I think this is exactly what Upland doesn't want, because then there will be all these messages from suspicious websites or something like this.
Oh, you can still do that now in the game anyway. I mean, I can show you one of my messages if you want.
Yeah, you can do it with crates or something like this. Yes, that's possible. But if you just need to buy 4 single letter map assets to do the effort, it will be much easier for people who want to.
I don't have the balls to do that, but I wonder what would happen if you did do the F word.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'll just share and I'll show you what I've done.
Yeah, if you take the Wheel Note LA, there are some messages too from Elijah and all these guys around him.
Yes, and it gets way better than that. Like back in the day, we were told you're not allowed to make certain things, and then all of a sudden they all showed up. Other people made them after we were explicitly told, no, you definitely can't do that. Next minute, other people have submitted them. So yeah, it seems like a bit of a free for all at the moment. Right, what do you got going on there, Swally?
So this is all the band's gravestones in front of my totems, which have been MIA for I don't know how long.
R.I.P. to your totems. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I'll have to get 3 or 4 more so I can do the green ones as well. But the band was nice enough to give me a couple for cheap price, so I picked up the rest. And I'd like to go and get a lot more graveyard haunted type assets and chuck them all there and turn it into a big sort of graveyard thingy. But I'll get around to it. But I mean, you can clearly write stuff in the game now if you really wanted to. I wondered if I did write, totems are shit or something like that. There, if Upland would contact me or jail me or something.
I would imagine so.
They even jailed Russell because he wanted to share how to treasure hunt on PC. No?
Yeah.
So
just the mention of it. Yeah. If you do have a lot of time on your hands and you want to get totally crazy, have a look at what D-Tech's done over here. He's written his name.
time to do that when he's always creating so many awesome things?
He doesn't bloody sleep. That's
Actually,
how.
have you seen
What's
all his
made-
creations that he's doing for his G-Week
Yeah.
competition that he won?
Amazing. Yep.
He came up with a great idea to have like two townhouses together, both half circle, sort of, so put them together, make a full, so sort of an incentive, I guess, to own two properties side by side. And it looks absolutely awesome. It's too bad Upland would destroy it with their footprint.
Yes, they would. Yes, contrast DTEX showroom lots to, where's mine? Mine's just an absolute horror show. Oh, I started off trying to be good, and then I just give up and just laid them wherever. Wherever they lay, that's where they're going to stay.
I've got like 1% of the assets that you guys have got, and mine is 10 times messier than that.
Yes. Have you got that frustration too, where when you move a map asset onto your showroom lot, it'll place it on the showroom lot, but you get 2 or 3 done, and then it starts placing them not even on the lot. It's outside the lot for some reason, even though there's heaps of room.
Yeah, outside the lot. Yeah, I keep getting that. I just move them to it goes green, and then I've got one address that I know off the top of my head, so I just whack those numbers in when I'm buying something or collecting something, and then everything ends up there, and which is one of my showrooms. But even structural ornaments, which can't be sold from there, end up there just because I couldn't be bothered trying to work out what the actual address is that I do put them at. Because there's no option for you just to go to your showrooms, is there, and select it and then click on it and go straight to it in game, is there? Like you have to.
You got to go assets and blah blah blah. Yeah, it is a bit clunky. You should there should be a MetaVentures tab on your profile, and it just lists them, and you just click on it. Yeah,
if you've got MetaVentures, there needs to be 2 profiles. There needs to be 2 areas within your property management, one for business, one for private. So you got your own little private houses and private stuff, and then all your business. Because like most of your map assets, you're not keeping for private. You've got them there to sell. You might have some that you're keeping for private, and they need to be separated as such instead of just all bundled together in one gigantic list. That's near impossible to manage.
You got to go
somewhere I heard that they
can't even search.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But
you can't search it.
And when you've got 2,000 properties, so the only way I know how to the only way I know how to do it is to really just zoom out, go to the right city, zoom in, and then remember roughly where it is. If you can't remember the address, I don't know how you manage it with like one in every city. I've only got 4 or 5, and I find it annoying.
Well, I don't. Is the thing. I've still completely burnt out. Somebody asked me in the in-game chat. They saw that my slow showroom finished, and they asked, "Oh, what are you going to sell there?" I'm like, "Just the usual. If I can ever get around to moving them all, because I'm still got the horrors. I'm still recovering from moving all the bloody crates. So I'll get there eventually, one of these days, sometime soon. Eventually, maybe."
Is there a town centre in Slough?
No, not yet. I believe. Yeah. And yes, shout out to the NFT architect. He has been away for a while. What's going on? All sorts, mate. All sorts. And not a lot at the same time. Yes. Probably the biggest thing you've got to the biggest thing you've got to catch up on is Spark is no more. Spark has now been converted to Sparklet, and that's all being prepared to be officially tied into a crypto exchange.
So 6 months ago, it takes us to the end of January. So if you haven't logged into Upland for 6 months, what have you actually missed? So first round of totems just finished. Sparklet's still coming.
Airdrop. Yeah, the airdrop.
What else have
we got airplanes.
No, 4 players apparently have airplanes.
Yes.
I don't think you've missed a hell of a lot, to be fair. Car transport.
City releases.
Yeah, he missed the April Fool Bermuda release.
Bermuda, yeah. But there's still plenty to mint there now, so you haven't missed nothing. Yeah.
Including collections. Although the red collections are like 4.5 million each, and I can't quite afford that.
Yeah, everybody's waiting for the big A to take a plane to Bermuda and just gobble them up.
Has he not gone there yet? Because I know he did it in Washington.
Yes, not sure. All right, so we'll just go back to wrap up on that. So 6 week 6 is suggestion for parking garages and storage for buildings. Yes, would be a great addition. Yeah, there is functionality, at least some functionality in there that is a possibility. to tidy that up with a facade like the Speedway building. So, yeah, who knows? I like it. And lastly, for the QIPS, we've got a correction from Jacob for Jesus, who clarifies, in last week's show, you mentioned that you need to have a hangar to own a plane. X1 said on one of the shows that you don't actually have to have a hangar. The hangars will function as aviation showrooms, but you can own a plane without having one. Well, that kind of goes back to 666's suggestion there. That's going to look bloody bizarre, isn't it? Just planes dropped here, there, and everywhere, all over the bloody place. Your residential property in suburbia with a freaking jet just parked in your yard.
I'd like to be able to do it, but I thought that's why you had to have the private airports.
Yeah, I thought so too, but apparently
just
not.
Take a look at John Travolta's home, where he just parked a Boeing.
Okay.
Blah, blah, blah.
All right, well, fair enough. If you own a big enough property that can have a landing strip on it and build your own terminal, happy days. And that might be an argument for having multiple buildings on the one plot of land. Like, I can see that, no dramas, but to be able to park your downtown, suburban Queens or something, well, I'm not so sure.
Seems a bit bizarre, doesn't it? Yeah.
So
anyway, thank you very much.
It'd have to be a huge footprint, surely.
You would think so. Yeah, you would think so. But yes, thank you for that correction, mate. Very much appreciated, because, we're not going to get everything right on the show. It'll be rare that we do. So thank you very much to Hugh Yang, 666, and Jacob for Jesus. You've all earned yourselves 10,000 UPX after fees. Don't forget that if you've got something like that we can cover on the show, link to the Google form in the description. Make sure you include your in-game name, and if we use it on the show, you'll win yourself some kind of prize also when we get around to covering it. Right, that takes us to the Dynamic Node Builders Getting to Know Community Members in this week's Getting to Know Community Members segment, care of Mesme and the other members of the DMB. They're featuring Daz Mustang. Daz Mustang is currently an executive with a net worth of just over 20.1 million UPX. He's got 683 properties, and here we go, 9,130 Sparklet. His home residence is in the Greenwich Village neighbourhood of Manhattan, which you might remember recently secured neighbourhood ratings collection status. Let's take a bit of a sneaky peeky at what he's got going on. No, not that one. This one. Now, Mesme, speaking of Mesme, she did give me the heads up on a few things this evening while I was on the train. Apparently, there was something glitched out in UPX land that caught her attention, and she mentioned some kind of football reference thing that I was supposed to talk about, but I had no idea what she was talking about. That was going to be funny. Something about, do you know, what is it? I messaged tonight to ask, how do we not know each other yet? Turns out because the Steelers fans versus the Patriots fan. Something going on there between Shaq and Das Mustang and Mesme. I don't know what it is, but she said everyone else would know what it is, so hopefully you know what it is, because I didn't have a clue. I don't really do the sports ball, and that's even the Australian versions. But anyhow, wildly off track. Back to Das Mustang. Yes, 20.1 million and change, 683 properties, 9,000 Sparklet, and a very, very consistent graph here as far as properties and whatnot. Very linear. Properties net worth maintaining a pretty standard gap above the mint net worth. Did get pretty close here at one stage, and then kind of separated a little bit again. So pretty good. We'll skip straight on over and see his responses to the DMB questionnaire. In-game name, Das Mustang, as I said, Uplander since February 2021, so been around for quite a while. Been to Vegas, yes. Bucket list, Guatemala mission. Famous fact about where you live, Billy Joel wrote a song named after us. Celebrity you know the most about, Robert Smalls. Got no idea who that is. If you could start a charity, give everyone a home. Having just been into Brisbane City, that would be a good one. That one. Tattoos, yes. Pet peeve, war. Occupation, healthcare, learning, technology, guilty pleasure, indica. Most common internet search history, Web3 gaming and Bitcoin. Never do again. Donate another kidney. Well, I would assume that if you've donated one, that's out of the question. And 3 Uplanders you chat with regularly, Shakdalen, Morcheese, and Tall James. So yes, Das Mustang has been around for quite a while, and I believe is involved in a whole bunch of different NFT projects here, there, and everywhere all over the place, assuming I'm not getting that name mixed up with somebody else. So, yes, if you would like to get yourself involved in what the DMB's got going on, if you would like to take part in the questionnaire, or if you know of someone you'd like to know more about, then send Mesme or any of the other DMB members a DM, or click the link to the DMB Discord server in the description, say good day, and tell them the Upland Down Under podcast sent you. And that brings us towards the back end of the show, where we give away some stuff. And what do we got? We got the weekly challenge first up. So last week's challenge was to get yourself in the contest channel within the NBA server. Let us know what your top 3 Upland account power-ups would be and why. So not just for racing or whatever, but some things that could boost your entire account in some way. Now, the prizes for this was, of course, the standard. Your name's going to roll on a list to win 10,000 UPX after fees. Get yourself another entry in the big 2024 end-of-year prize giveaways. But on top of those usual prizes, your entry will also put you in the running to win a 2-piece set of Speedway fences care of show sponsor BAMTech from the Apex Motors and Map Asset Metaventure. Remember that he's got plenty of stock for you to liven up your speedways, with Speedway fences currently in stock and available at all Apex Map Asset shops in LA, the Bronx, Miami, and Las Vegas, and also Sao Paulo. But wait, that's not all. He did have the release of the Roadster carts, so we've got an extra bonus. We're going to spin the wheel again this week, and to help celebrate the release of his Roadster carts, BAMTech has very generously donated 2 of those to give away. So we'll be rolling the wheel 3 times tonight. First time for the 10,000, second time for the 2 Speedway fences, and the third time to give away the cart. Assuming I can find where that is, which should be wheel number 1, I believe. Yes, and I think I patched you in there, kind of. Yeah. And Twali, did you get in this week? Yes, you did. Oh, you were first. You were very quick this week. Right, so this is going to be for the 10,000 UPX. Yeah, yes. 10,000 UPX goes to, and look at that, he squeezed in right at the death, and he's taken it. Wow, that's absolutely amazing how often that happens.
My spot.
Absolutely amazing how often that happens. That's, you're just taking that money straight out of Swally's hands there. So I'm going to goink you out of there, and we're going to roll again. So this is going to be from BAMTech, and this is for the 2 Speedway Map Asset fences. Those go to Caesar. Congratulations, Caesar. 1-5, and last but very not least, this one is for, I should have shuffled, shouldn't I? Shuffle. This is for the cart, and that goes to Cernas 4. He's on a roll too. Okay. Congratulations, Cernas 4. That was yours. That was your 10,000 at the start, wasn't it? You were saying.
I missed a comment here by Ryan earlier about a Aussie or an African city release on the cards. I think we've discussed it a few times over a few different episodes. I can't see it happening anytime soon, especially an Australian city, because the time zone just doesn't suit the other rest of the world, really. And that's the problem that Elsac and I've had trying to work out a time zone that, you know, to try and get the Europeans in with an Australian and an American is impossible. It's almost like the world's divided into 3, and you can make 2 happy, you can't make 3 happy. So I just don't see them doing an Australian city anytime soon. South Africa or an African city, maybe. That'd be good.
Yes, anywhere but the bloody USA would be nice. A bit over the bloody USA.
Well,
did
Paris
you catch
will be
on
the next one?
On the Block Web Beat podcast, I put a segment in there whining specifically about stuff like that. I'm like, come on, throw us a bone down here in Australia, please. Please.
Yeah, I saw it. I did say the plea. Because that was one of my gripes from the week. That NFT sale, the blocking support, the map assets. Like, I actually wanted one of those. Like, I'm all about Spark and everything Spark, so I was pretty keen and I registered. But of course, when I went to bed, I've got no clue whether I'm in the line or not, and I wasn't gonna wake up just to find out. Turned out I was 50th in line, so I would have definitely got one. Only I wake up at 4:30 and they're already gone. So I was like, you know, there's so many different ways they can solve that problem. Like your idea of 12 hours, you know, it doesn't even need to be 12 hours notice. It can be less than that. Like 6 hours.
8 would cover it.
Yeah, 6 hours would cover it. Split sales, have half at AM and PM type thing or something like that. Because there are Americans that are at work that can't miss out too. I think Elslack said he was at work, so he missed out as well.
Yep.
Anyway, maybe they could have two, split it into two sales, and you when you register for which one you want. Or maybe you can still register for both. Maybe you should only be able to register for one or the other.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, you can only pick one slot. And I've been whining about that for 4 years.
But to wake up at 2 a.m. just to find out and you get on there and you're 700 in queue, and you're like, what's the point in ruining a night's sleep just to find that out? Like, if you told us even 4 hours beforehand, that's what 10 p.m. our time. We get up at 2 a.m. for it. So I don't know. Like, it's a global game. I wish I would start thinking global.
Yes, getting up at 2 a.m. to see if it's worth getting up at 2 a.m. is just flat out dumb.
It was all right for a while, but I'm getting over it now. I'm hit the 2-year mark, so I'm getting a little bit. I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty easy to hit that one. So yes, that was for the weekly challenge, but don't forget we've got the bonus prize as well. And this was pretty hard to pick this one this week, but I've given the bonus prize this week to Live Star Jazzy Jazz, Wild Jasmine. Her entry was for the power up situation. Number one, she wanted a bonus percentage of monthly earnings for X number of weeks per season. I must admit that was my thinking when I first came up with that system. Was most other apps have, buy an in-game double multiplier of the in-game currency for a certain amount of time or whatever, something like that. So that'd be cool. Number two, better treasure hunting arrow colors and distance indicators. Bring back, what was your slogan you got in the background? Make treasure hunting great again.
Great again. Yeah, bring back the arrows.
Something like that.
Just bring back the arrows we used to have.
Yeah. A lot of people said that was a very common one that got mentioned. Same with this next one. Number three, she said, can have the ability to control the direction of your BE after sending to a property. Yep, absolutely. Number four, control your BE speed, either to speed it up or slow it down. Now, this is something that I didn't think of. The speed up one makes sense if you're treasure hunting or whatever, but she's mentioned there slowing it down. That would help during city releases. Think about situations where you want your BE tail to stay on a spot, especially if there's going to be some drama and you delay it.
That was my issue with Washington. I crossed over Pennsylvania Avenue about half an hour before the release, and the tail faded away from it as the release got really close.
By the way, these functions are available. You can if you take a look at your source code in the browser, there's a speed indicator and detect range setting since months or years, I think, but they didn't make use of it.
Oh, so you mean they have the ability to change it, but obviously it's not available to us. Yeah.
Yep.
But I don't know, is that too much of an advantage or disadvantage for a city release?
Well, if you could move it fast, absolutely that would be, because there's plenty of times where, you're trying to get somewhere. So if you could fast or slow it, that would be a huge advantage.
I mean, if you got one property by itself in the middle of nowhere, but you don't know whether someone else is already on their way to it. That's the thing. You can't see anybody else. I don't know. I'm not against it.
That was always the fun of the Manhattan release. Like the race to Wall Street, that was freaking epic because you could see there was myself and probably 4 or 5 others. We were tailing, and we'd get to somebody would mint a property, and some of us would jump, but if we were on a nice trajectory, some of us would stay there, because this is back in the day when you couldn't hide the block explorers. They were permanently on. And you could see people would land, they'd mint a property and they'd land on it thinking they're going to get ahead, but then they're sending back to their property a whole bunch of times and they're just getting RNG'd into oblivion, and we'd all go cruising past. And then there was other people that you could see that were hanging back, and I think it might have been Green Turtle as an example. They were just watching from afar, and they waited until one of the properties there got minted, and they just zoinked straight to it. So, and that was the same in Chicago. We raced to there's me and another bloke and a few other people were racing to the Shameless house. That was the same thing. We were all prop hopping and jumping off. That was
But as
a lot of
soon
fun.
as you mint one, then everybody else can jump to it anyway. So I don't know, maybe it's not too much of an advantage.
Yeah, but this was nice in Tokyo too when they released the expansion and all this gastronomy collection properties were visible.
We're everywhere.
So you just see there's one minted, so somebody jumped, and one property space, then another mint, and you just see them hop, 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 and then minted.
Yep. Yes.
I don't get.
Yes.
Yeah, I
So
don't
that
get
was
in
a
those
good one,
shenanigans.
No. And then Jazzy had one more as well, and this one was a good one too, which has kind of pushed it over the edge for me to pick her for the bonus, was no commission on property sales or secondary purchase for X number of properties or X number of days, weeks. So if you were wanting to sell a big property or something like that, or purchase one, you could cancel out the fees on that for a certain time. That'd be a good one. I'd like that. Never going to happen, but I'd like it. Yeah. So good on you, everybody who took part. So that was last week's challenge. This week's challenge, again, get yourself in the contest channel within the NBA server. Pretty easy one this week. Let us know what is your current Sparklet balance and where and what you were doing with it. So what's your Sparklet balance and what are you doing with it? Now, to make sure you have a shot at the bonus prize, just like Jazz won, include your predicted date for when Sparklet will go live on the first crypto exchange. So having a bit of a punt here. If I can remember to do so, I'll collate all of these and we might do a special giveaway once we do go live, and whoever's the closest will give away some special stuff for that as well.
You should specify that you mean the Upland Sparklet, not that just jumps out and just creates a shitcoin and Sparklet and say, hey, I know the exact date when it was released.
Yeah, true. Well, I think there might already. That might have been Spark. There was already a Spark or something like that. So yeah, maybe you want to have a punt on what the crypto exchange is going to be as well. So yeah, what's your Sparklet balance? What are you doing with it? When do you think we're going to go live on the first exchange, and what exchange do you think we're going to go live on? If you do all that, you'll be in the running for all of the prizes, the 10,000 UPX. You'll get the entry in for the 2024 giveaways. You'll be in for the 2 speedway fences and the extra go-kart, and of course, whatever else that goes on. So don't sleep on that one. If you've got no idea what the NBA server is, the link is in the description, of course, or send me a DM and I'll point you in the right direction. Don't bother posting it on YouTube or anywhere like that because I won't read it. All right. Now that brings us over to the live participants. Oh, and DZ has just jumped in, so I will patch you in, mate.
I got him.
Not too late.
I got him.
Oh, you got him in there, did you? Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Now, Swally sent me these. Let me copy and paste those. Oh, you did too. Yeah, look at that. You're on the ball. So remember the live participants wheel. We've got 2 wheels for this. We roll it once to see who's going to play, and then we roll it again to see what they're going to win. Yeah, and like I said, apologies. I will get a better system. Laban sent me a whole bunch of good ones to look into. So this is all the live participants we were able to gather. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. So let me just remind myself what we're giving away. So this is, this is to see who's going to play. We changed it, didn't we? I don't even know what I'm doing. All right, let's see who's going to play for the live participants wheel. Who's going to play? Oh, speaking of Laban, he's just missed. Bueller Man might have it. Metaverse and Milan might be in the running. It's a borderline.
Oh, gee, that's a close one.
It is. Metaverse Milan. Congrats, mate. Metaverse Milan. Now, he, I believe, has just upgraded from iOS to Android as well. So I haven't caught up on that video yet to see how that's all going. So let's see what he's going to win.
Yeah,
so you've got a chance here.
Great.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what MM's going to win. Nobody's won the mystery map asset, and as I said, he's got it. Mystery map asset. Mystery map asset on the way for you. I'll be in touch via the DMs to sort that out at some stage. Wait. All right, that brings us pretty much to the end. Bueller is, I know you had a few different things going on. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about, discuss, bring up?
I'm just need many venting buddies to because of all this Sparklet change and some. But it's as you can see, like the Spark exchange is down for maintenance, and I need to shut down many parts of my page too to get it reworked with the new contracts and all the new actions they implemented without telling anyone upfront. So we could have prepared, and and it's a bit of work to do. Even if this escrow thing the Apex land uses now. I just discovered this messed my database up too, so I'm currently a bit reworking because of changes nobody knows will happen until they happen.
Oh boy.
I noticed the treasure hunting bots don't work at the moment either, so they're not registering that you collect a Spark chest, which is no big deal.
Yeah, because this is another contract on the blockchain, because they now don't use the Spark token egg, but now it's the Sparklet TK account, and you need to shut down, you need to recode a bit of it, and then we work or we crawl through the blockchain since the change to check if everyone was detected.
Yes, there's
just needed
going on there.
to do it to update all the history data, because if I take the login bonus as an example, if I just put the new Sparklet in, that doesn't work, because you get to 0.01 and now you get 10, and so I needed to adjust all the old entries, and I have no other hobbies at the moment.
What about your soccer team? Sorry, your football team.
Yes.
It's good. Yeah, the soccer it's currently a summer break, so.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Normally I use this time for the family, but hey.
Yeah.
Harsh. Yeah, if you didn't catch it yet, I did get together with Buellerman last weekend, and we had a bit of a chat about all of that and a whole bunch more. We didn't get to answer all of the questions. We ran out of time. Buellerman had to go back to work, and my voice was just completely shot. It's barely come back now. Don't forget, Buellerman, I did tag you in that list of questions in the NBA server too. If you get
I just
get a chance to have a look through
started answering parts of them, and then I will release some of the answers
cool.
Maybe this evening.
Nice. And don't sleep on going back and checking out some of the other ones I did with DZ. I got to follow up with DZ on some more chats about following up on some of the stuff that he's got going on in Lake Wacomas. I need to get another chat with Buellerman. And all going well, I should be having a chat this weekend with TB125, who, if you don't remember, he was back in the old form of the UDU podcast, used to run the Metaventures segment, and he was one of the first people that I knew of that just started running heaps and heaps of different Metaventures way back when that was not very common at all. So, yeah, hopefully get together for a chat. And look at that, Jazzy's in the house. Jazzy, if you didn't catch it, you won the bonus 5,000 UPX this week. So we just covered all of your different points, some good ones there. So, yes, don't sleep on the weekly challenge. Get yourself in for that one. And a reminder that if you are in a time zone that fits in with the Thursday night live streaming schedule of starting at 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, and you'd like to get involved, the link to the weekly podcast is always dropped in the NBA server about 15 minutes before the show starts. I do have a number of interviews booked for that other podcast series, but that invitation extends to that as well. If you want to get involved and have a chat on that, if you've got something to promote like BAMTech, don't forget he's got his stuff at the High Speed Metaventure, Apex Motors and Map Assets. Get on over there and check out what he's going. I do have sponsors bit backed up as well. If you wanted to check that out, the schedule for that, I have put a Where did I put that? That's in the NBA server as well. Sponsors, we're pretty much, what are we, episode number 47, and we've probably booked to episode number 56. That takes us to the end of August. So if you want to get involved, there's plenty of people looking to give away some stuff there. Really appreciate everybody who does get involved to help give away stuff. Obviously, I don't charge anything for that. It's just a matter of getting the word out, sharing what you've got going on, and spread the love, give away some stuff, because as much as I love giving away stuff of mine, I love giving away other people's stuff even more. That's way more fun. So yes, have a good week, everybody, and until next week, we shall catch you later.
Bye.